Hey everyone, welcome back to Automate with Anmol. It's been a long time. A lot has changed. I moved to Canada, took a short break from YouTube, and today I'm finally restarting this channel. For those of you who don't know, on this channel I share real-world automation problems using UiPath, Power Automate, talk about test automation, APIs, and how automation actually works in project, and how can you kickstart your career in automation. So if you're into automation space and you're into automation that actually solves problem, you're in the right place. Now let me pull up my screen because today what I'm going to talk about is how we think about testing and how it is evolving and changing, like agentic testing. We write test, application change, tests break, and teams spend more time fixing scripts than finding bugs. Agentic testing doesn't replace testers, it removes repetitive work. So testers can focus on risk, edge cases, and quality strategy overall. Now, before we dive into more details about agentic testing, let's have a look on why should we choose agentic or automation. What is driving the need for test automation and AI agentic powered testing that every organization is trying to achieve potential efficiencies, reduce manual effort, and most importantly, improve customer experience. Now, there are a lot of tools out there that would help you achieve agentic testing or test automation in general. But what I would talk more into detail in the upcoming videos is how UiPath Test Cloud helps us achieve this. And then we can talk more about other tools in the market that are helping us do the same job. So first up, let's see why should we go with agentic testing? And let me use this ladder, or I would say the maturity curve, to show that why Test Cloud is not just a testing tool, but a strategic enabler for your customer success. Now, this slide illustrates that how organization evolve from level one, which is like I would say early maturity levels where testing is very reactive, and how Test Cloud accelerates this maturity journey dramatically. So, at the early maturity level, testing is normally very slow, inconsistent, and very expensive. Client would face unpredictable release, high defect leakage, and poor adoption. Now, this is where Test Cloud can help because it can immediately start reducing your manual effort and would provide you a scalable automation infrastructure without a huge setup because it's cloud based. It's very easy to set up and get started. Now, level 3 is where you would actually start feeling some impact because we would start with more parallel execution, we would scale it, we would do some quality management training, and as team mature, Test Cloud drives consistency, accelerate regression cycle, provide quality metrics, and start supporting CI/CD, all powered by a cloud-based, cost-efficient testing platform. Now, this is to showcase the future, right? And that's why we need to adapt it because the future of testing is robotic and agentic. On the left-hand side is what is called the left brain of testing that shows that how testing has traditionally worked. It's systematic, rule-based, task-oriented, and very step-by-step. How earlier it used to work is how RPA was, right? That you write scripts, you define exact conditions, rule-based, right? And expect the system not to change. But that usually is not seen in modern enterprise platform because they are prone to changes and they go through multiple release and application tend to change and our scripts then don't work. That's where testing is going, which is the right side, where testing is agentic and AI driven. Automation is no longer just executing scripts, but thinking, adapting, and assisting testers. Here, testing becomes more intuitive, more goal oriented. And instead of telling the tool how to test step by step, we tell it what we want to validate. And the AI agents can help us generate tests, heal failures, and provide insights. So we are not replacing testers, and no AI would replace testers, but it would augment them with more power to test faster and to cover more cases, to provide us more coverage. If I moving on to the next slide, this talks about how different capabilities when Autopilot is combined with Agent Builder. And if we don't know what is Autopilot or what is Agent Builder, we are going to cover it shortly and even in the upcoming videos. This slide basically stresses on that how manual testing was everything done manually, and it used to take a lot of time. Then came legacy test automation, wherein we are writing script, but it's either triggered manually or the script is very rule based and doesn't do anything about failure, doesn't heal the failure, doesn't adapt to changes in the application, to the current scenario where we're standing with agentic testing. Now we're standing at agentic testing, wherein Autopilot plus Agent Builder is helping us achieve better results. So it's about collaboration between humans, robot, and AI agents. And that's how we can reduce maintenance, accelerate release, and improve confidence, especially in complex modern day application. Moving on, let's see how to unlock the power of Test Cloud and agentic automation. We'll begin with a whole automation evolution platform. Now, you would know a lot of things in here, like process mining, task mining, communication mining. So basically, the entire product suite is divided into three categories: discover, automate, operate. And we would be focusing more towards the AI-enabled test automation platform, how it uses the low-code development feature, how it uses the test manager, AI integrated analytics, and proactive testing to help us automate or like test intelligently. This is what the architecture, high level architecture of Test Cloud looks like. There is a web application, which is Test Manager. We can access it cloud or we can also access it on-prem. And then this Test Manager has capability to link with any of your ALM tool, whether your organization is using Azure DevOps, whether they are using X-Ray, whether they are using Jira. It actually syncs real time with your test manager, and all the user stories, all the test cases, test sets, your test plans, your test results, everything can be synced real time for business to view it, or they can directly view it on test manager. Defect tracking can be done back into your ALM tool, and defect can automatically be created from test manager. In between lies our agent, wherein you can create your own agent, train it with your own specific use cases, and that can give you insights about your entire project. And then we have Studio, wherein we develop test cases using Autopilot for developers that helps you cut down your development timeline considerably. Then we have orchestrator that acts as the brain, manages everything. Then we have robot that executes those test cases. And then we have CI/CD, so you can do continuous deployment and continuous integration of your test suite. Now, this is Autopilot and Agent Builder, bringing agentic testing to life. So we have two components mainly. One is Autopilot for testers, which is all built in. It's customizable AI capabilities given to you, and you can access them using Test Manager. It's an UiPath agent already built. And then there is an agent builder that gives you a very user-friendly interface, which acts as a tool, and you can build your own AI agents tailored to your need. So agents are more than just conversational partners. They can act using the tools you equip them with. Now, between all of this, there is UiPath AI Trust Layer that enables transparency, trust, and control over interaction between organization data and generative AI. So all the data that we are feeding to the AI is safe because there is an AI trust layer in between. Now, there are mainly four pillars of Autopilot, and we would see all of them with examples, with demos. The first is AI-powered evaluation that would help you evaluate requirement for quality aspects. For example, if your user story doesn't have too much clarity or is missing certain acceptance criteria or it's not complete, AI would give you suggestions to improve your user story. And the better the user story or the more descriptive the user story is, the better results you're going to get out of your user story. And it would help both the developer as well as the tester. Now, once you have a good user story, a very detailed user story, that's when you can use AI powered generation, which is generate manual tests from requirements and supporting documents. Now, with user story, you can then generate test cases. You can generate end-to-end flow verification, a happy path, a boundary value testing, a edge case. So there are multiple options, and you can also choose your model and then generate test cases that covers full testing of your user story. It is going to give you a very good coverage within seconds. Then we have AI powered automation. Now, once you have generated the test cases, you would also want to automate them so that you don't spend days and weeks in testing those. That's where you can use low code test automation. You can also generate synthetic test data as well as self healing automation. That's where AI powered automation would help you. Last but not the least, after you have done all these amazing work, you would definitely want to get real time actionable insights into your test results to see what is going wrong, where you should concentrate more, or what are the improvement areas to increase your success rate. That's when AI would help you dig deeper into all of your execution results and would give you some really amazing recommendation to improve your pass percentage or to, like add more test cases, or like if certain test cases are failing more than usual or are failing always, it would show the top failing test. It would give you some recommendation. It would, identify a pattern of your failure, and that would really help you in improving your entire test suite. Now, we would also see them all in demos on how these are actually done and how certain efficiencies are achieved in your test automation. This is what test case generation looks like. If you look at this particular diagram over here, so there's a human. It is giving test manager, it's interacting with the test manager interface and giving the requirement. Then there is an LLM, and you can actually communicate with LLM how you communicate with any conversational AI. And then it would give you proposal of certain test cases. Now you can either accept it and say that, okay, these test cases look good. Let me include them into my entire life cycle. Or you can ask for more suggestions and like converse with an LLM to get the test cases. As long as you're not satisfied, you can keep regenerating it, keep changing the prompt. And once your test cases look good is when you can select them and add them. It would generate detailed test cases with steps. And this is all embedded in Test Manager. The second is test case automation. So either we can use object repository or code descriptor, and then we pass it to LLM and give LLM the scenario, and it would generate the test cases. Or the other option to kind of, increase the speed of development and maintenance is also screenplay. So here you can see I've pasted a screenshot from one of the demos wherein I've provided just prompts with variables, and then I generated the script, and AI powered automation is ready, and my test case is automated within minutes. And it helps you reduce the development and maintenance effort by 50%. Now, why UiPath? There are, as I mentioned, right, there are a lot of other tools that would help you achieve the same results or are moving towards agentic powered testing, and you can use them as well. But since we are talking about Test Cloud, I would stress on to few things on why UiPath. So it's a one unified platform. You would have seen a lot of capabilities around RPA or document understanding, and now they're also stepping into automation space. So what differentiates is the convergence of testing, AI, and enterprise automation into one unified platform. Then you have AI generated test, you have self-healing automation, and it's not like a roadmap, it's all there. You can really build your own agents. And it has been validated by IDC as well as Gartner. It's a full stack coverage. It would help you with UI automation, API automation, SAP automation. You also have SAP heat map available. And now they've also come up with performance testing. So you can actually do performance testing as well on the test manager. It's FedRAMP certified. So it's certified to be used in public sector or government organization. There is AI trust layer, which is transparent, compliant, and trustworthy, and it can also be used across banking and healthcare sectors. And this is the Gartner report that shows that even in the testing domain, UiPath is one of the leading, I would say, tool, right? So if you see on the leaders section, you can see UiPath. Because of its next gen AI innovation, it's a trusted customer partner and a strong market vision. So, yeah, these are some of the business values that it is going to add in terms of speed, quality, compliance, cost, and risk. And that's it for this video. I hope I helped you answer a lot of your questions on why you should be moving or adapting towards agentic testing. In the upcoming videos, I would come up with certain demos to see how the 4 pillars of Autopilot actually helps us achieve all these business values. Till then, thanks for watching the video. I hope to see you again.